back from that tight loss last week. This is familiar territory for them. Their entire season has been played within one score. Lead change after lead change after lead change. Well, the Saints find themselves somewhere they've not been in a close game late.
Yeah, it's a great point. We haven't really seen the Saints get tested. They blew out the Panthers week 1. Everyone said, okay, it's just, you played the Panthers. They're struggling right now. And then when they did it to Dallas, you start saying, oh my God, is this team for real? And their defense has been what we'd expect out of a Saints defense, and obviously it's been the offense that's been the struggle again.
Play action. Goedert again. This time not going to get away. Will Harris, who is questionable today, dealing with a leg injury, comes up and makes the tackle for a loss.
So now this is a critical down for Jalen Hurts. He's got to find something underneath, high percentage at the very least. If you can't get the first down, look past the sticks. If not, you either got to run or you got to get this thing thrown and get yourself in field goal range. Try to make this a 4-point game.
Scrambles, sets, heaves over Dotson's head. Chase Young got there to apply the pressure. And it's 4th down and 11 outside of field goal range. Well, you'd think, but they may test it right here.
Wow, this is huge. I mean, this is a 60-yard field goal, and he misses this. You give the Saints prime field position to start their next drive. You always want to rush these punts, Joe, inside. You picture this ball has a low ball flight. Get some pressure up inside.
He misses wide from 60 yards. And the Saints will take over with good field position.
Showed a lot of confidence in his kicker. Good snap, good hold. He was wide, and I think that thing fell short. So either way, now the Saints take over at midfield. Only trailing by 1 point.
Trying to find the magic of the first 2 weeks for this offense. Just 2 field goals today, coming off a game where they scored touchdowns on their first 6 drives against the Cowboys. So Derek Carr, #1 passer in the NFL through 2 weeks. Just 11 out of 20 today, 94 yards. The defense, though, has kept them within reach. 7-6, 6:41 left. From the 50, fake to Kamara. Carr looking long. Carr will take off. That reached the ball forward. 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, really nice coverage. I like 1st down. Big people trying to get play action down the field, and they're just playing a soft umbrella. That's a very Vic Fangio style coverage. Keep everything underneath. 4 deep players putting a lid on the defense, and Carr realizes I think he could have gotten rid of that ball a little sooner to Kamara underneath, but either way, picks up a little bit with his legs.
Chance at redemption for this defense after the game-winning drive from Kirk Cousins on Monday night. Kamara, no room. Brandon Graham was on the Saints. Gain of just 2. It's 3rd down. This offense. Brandon Graham in his 15th final season, still playing at a high level. Longest tenured player in Eagles history. Even with the struggles of the defense the first 2 weeks, he was the guy if you're trying to find a silver lining that was playing pretty well.
Yeah, in a room where it's all the young talent, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. But tell you what, if there's one guy that has not been blockable today, no matter who's lined up, has been Jalen Carter. He has been an absolute force for this Philly defensive line.
Run it on 3rd and 4. Kamara looking for the corner. He's got it for a 1st down. Alvin Kamara needed 4 and got 5. And now a flag flies well after the end of the play. Trevor Penning with a great block there to get him the 1st down. And Darius Slay is down here injured on the sideline.
You see they take a jump inside. Both defensive players. Carter jumps inside, gives him the edge. And let's take a look here at the end. Slay's taken out of bounds by Penning. think that's going to be the penalty, so let's hold on here before it's blocked and taken out of bounds. But I think they're going to call Penning for a penalty.
And this would be the second week in a row that he'll get called for an unnecessary roughness penalty. That's a tough one there, finishing the block. And
you just got to stop once you get out of bounds. He just took Slay into the white and then took him into the bench.
There'll still be a first down.
Correct.
And then a dead ball foul.
Just kills him with the field position now, going 15 back.
After the runner gained a first down, number 70, the offense with the personal foul, unnecessary roughness, continued to block the player all the way through into the bench. That's a 15-yard foul, but it's first down and 10.
So again, that's been an issue for Penning throughout his career. You know, the stuff at the end of the play, second week in a row where he's been called for a penalty like this.
Yes. Yeah, so he's good, and now you got to stop. The play's over. You've dominated a smaller guy, fine, but you just can't run the guy through the sideline into the bench. So again, it was after they ruled Kamara went out of bounds, which they're fortunate.
Yeah.
But he went out of bounds, and this was a dead ball foul, and it'll be first and 10, but big change in field position. Remember, you only need a field goal to take the lead, so 15-yard penalty, that's big.
Yeah, instead of the 39 in Eagles territory, back at their own 46. On a day where yards have been hard to come by. And Slay gets to his feet. Out of the game, though, their top corner. And so Keely Ringo comes in to replace him. You got a rookie on one side in Quinyon Mitchell. You've got Keely Ringo in his second season on the other. Kamara motions out. Carr to throw it on first down. He's pressured by Graham. Knocked down. Thomas Booker got his hand on that ball. 4:55 to go, and we get a game break from Carissa.
Thanks, Joe. Letting you guys know what will be coming up next. Most of you will see Lamar Jackson. He's in an unfamiliar place. Never started 0-2 in his career. Ravens looking to bounce back here, but they're taking on a Cowboys team who, of course, lost last week to the Saints. America's Game of the Week coming up next. Joe?
Cowboys fans got to be wondering about themselves a little bit right now. They give up 44 to the Saints at home, and now watch this. 3-3.
It's just so hard week to week to make any like strong declarations.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is not happy.
Got to use the timeout right there.
It's their second timeout now they've used. You find yourself here under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Timeouts are critical. You're at home. Noise shouldn't be a problem. Those are just wasted opportunities. They might need those at the end of the fourth quarter.
Hey, what a weird game this has been. I mean, we figured that you're going to have offense at least on one side from the Saints the way they've gone the first 2 weeks. They've had nothing. It's the difference.
Yeah, that's really the difference in the game. Yeah. Exactly right. And the Saints haven't been able to take advantage of the block punt. Right. They get stopped on their fourth down. Both teams have struggled on fourth and short. It's just been a funny game. And I think we can sit here and say, okay, what's wrong with the offenses? I think both these defenses have played really well, but this point in the game, Derek Carr, Kubiak, all right, you're the toast of the town through 2 weeks. You got to find some magic here and give yourselves a chance.
On second down, Carr lets it rip for Chris Olave. Perfect strike. Down to the 25. 29 big ones for Olave on his first catch of the half.
And they went right after Keely Ringo. He's in for Slay. Bottom of the screen. He's been standing around the whole game. Then you get thrown into the game and go play NFL corner. That is not easy. And veteran move there by Derek Carr going right after him.
Hurried up to the line. First down from the 25. Back to the ground. Kamara to the 20. And some pushing and shoving after the play. Clock down to 4 minutes. Eagles do have all 3 timeouts as the Saints knock on the door here. Again, Lucas Patrick's playing center. Eric McCoy left the game on the first drive with an injury. Had to move several pieces around. Slay remains out. On 2nd and 6.
Checking to see 2 high safeties, probably checking to a run.
It is for Kamara. Alvin Kamara slips his way for a first down inside the 15. Kamara slow to get up. Keeled over.
Yeah, you heard him say can. So they give Derek Carr 2 plays in the huddles. Probably you can either go run to run. Most likely it was pass to run. You get 2 high safeties. You don't want to run the pass. Checks into the second call. And now the question is, at what point, if you're Nick Sirianni, do you start using your timeouts? You typically want to use them on the plus side of the 2-minute warning. You want to do it when you're on defense.
Under 3 left. Jamal Williams replaces Kamara. They give it to him right away. Nolan Smith hit him first, and then he was buried by Baun. No gain, 2nd and 10.
And I think that on the Saints sideline, I don't think you want to go too conservative here and just say, okay, we're going to bleed the clock. I think you want to get this thing clearly under the 2-minute warning, which, barring some timeouts by Philly, you will. But I think a touchdown here still has to be on your mind. A field goal makes it 9-7. Now you give Jalen Hurts the ball to go down, and only a field goal beats you. So they're going to be careful getting too conservative. The field goal has to be last resort.
Kamara's already back in. Here in the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 10. Carr lofting for Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saints take the lead.
Well, there you go, right on cue. And great play call. Now they're going to go for 2. They want to try to make this a 7-point game. An extra point making it 6 does you no good, so all their best 2-point play. But I just love the aggressive nature. They're not trying to just bleed the clock. They're saying, I don't want to be up 2. I want to try to be up 7. And that's really good aggressive play calling there by Kubiak, and good decision making there by Dennis Allen, the head coach.
Carr drops it right in the bucket, and that teensy tape toe drag from Chris Olave. His first touchdown of the season, the Saints' first touchdown of the day. And the 2-point conversion coming here with 2:03 left. Quick snap. Williams, low throw, not going to get it. Zack Baun was right on top. Saints have the lead, but it's only 5. As we look back at the touchdown from Carr to Olave.
Yeah, great play design. They start empty. They bring Kamara back, and he's just going to run. Look at that inside steam. He gets Gardner-Johnson thinking he's got to protect his inside, and that's just a mismatch. Gardner-Johnson versus Chris Olave. That is not C.J. Gardner-Johnson's strength as a player. Defending off coverage against one of the fastest receivers in the league. That's about as easy. And then you mentioned it. That is unbelievable awareness. Dragging that foot. And the special teams. Let's dive into this kickoff here for a second, Joe. There's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Ideally, you don't want to kick a touchback here. You want to kick it short. Make Philly return it. Get this game under the 2-minute warning. Now they can only stop the game with timeouts. I'd be curious, Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator, how they play this.
Well, they've been the best team in this young season at avoiding touchbacks, at using that landing zone and forcing the returns. So right in their wheelhouse for Blake Grupe. So Carr and the Saints are in front, looking for their first 3-0 start in more than a decade. First tight game they've been in. They have an answer right there. All right, so it is a chip shot and perfectly done. Forces the return from Kenneth Gainwell. Gets this to the 2-minute warning, and Gainwell takes it to the 31. All right, Pabea, tight one here, a defensive slugfest. Saints have just taken the lead at 12-7, and the Eagles have it out of the 2-minute warning with all 3 timeouts. Jalen Hurts underneath Jahan Dotson, who's going to have to be one of his favorite targets here because they came into the game with no A.J. Brown. They have since lost DeVonta Smith. Limited options for Hurts. 2nd and 5. Underneath again. Tackle made right away by Willie Gay on Paris Campbell. There is a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, actually, I think it's going to be on New Orleans. I think they're going to get hands to the face, which really changes this from 3rd and medium here. You see Alante Taylor. He came off the right side.
Legal use of hands. Hands to the face on the defense, number 1.
Yeah.
That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
All right, so they get an automatic first down. Watch, look at the left side of your screen. Saquon Barkley comes over in pass protection. Look, he's got both his hands right up under his face mask. Pretty easy decision, so only a 5-yard penalty, but still, it's the fresh set of downs. Instead of it being 3rd and 6, it's 1st and 10.
1:28, still all 3 timeouts. Barkley, the blitz pickup right there, has had the biggest play of this game, a 65-yard touchdown. Hurts is in trouble. Hurts is sacked. Brian Brzee, his 2nd one today.
It's a great blitz design. They show just 3 down linemen. They bring the 4th from the 2nd level, and Brian Brezee's had a quiet game here today. Had a great rookie year, 1st-round pick. Little stunt inside between Willie Gay, number 6, Brian Brzee, and again, Hurts just holding on to the ball a little too long. Something he has a tendency to do, and Brian Brzee made his biggest impact play here late in the 4th quarter.
Makes it 2nd and 16. Hurts 250 yards, but an interception and a fumble. Looking to be the late hero. Heartbreak late on Monday. Can they turn it around here in New Orleans?
Again, they're just in a 3-man front, so they only got 3 down linemen, 2 nose and 2 edge players. Everybody else is a backer or a secondary player. Brezee's on the nose.
So we're going to look to throw it. Hurts going outside. That is Wilson and incomplete. Alante Taylor to the coverage.
You have to wonder how many reps here in this 2-minute offense has Wilson, the young rookie, even gotten. Just so unconventional to be forced to have to play out of 12 personnel. This is usually an 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 back, 1 tight end, 2-minute must-pass situation. You covered it, though, with the amount of injuries. They got no choice to have both Wilson and Dallas Goedert on the field.
3rd and 16. Trying to get some of it back. They'll get plenty. Dallas Goedert is wide open. Down the sideline. Inside the 10. 1st and goal for Philly. 60 yards from Hurts to Goedert.
Well, you're probably wondering, how does he get this open? It's man coverage and just a great job running interference from the other side. The way you teach that is you're not trying to get yourself open. You need to run at Dallas Goedert's man. Look, and then just avoid contact. Will Harris can't keep up with him, and Dallas Goedert's had his best game of the year by far in the game they've needed him the most. And now you got to wonder, you scored too fast, of course you need a touchdown. But then all of a sudden, if you go for 2, hey, there's a lot going on here, Joe. This is going to be awesome.
Got to hurry, got to use the timeout with that play clock running out. Wow,
this is
timeout
great.
Number 2, Philadelphia. 30-second timeout.
Hello to everybody that just watched the Packers finish off the Titans. This game didn't have a whole lot going on through 3 quarters, but it is blown up in the 4th. Dallas Goedert, you said one of the best games of his season. That's one of the best of his career. A huge play right there.
He's had 3 plays over 30 yards in one day for a tight end. We said that element of explosiveness. Who was going to do it with A.J. Brown now being sidelined from injury 2 weeks in a row? You assume it's DeVonta Smith, but now he gets taken out of the game. Big play offense is back for this Philly offense. And man, last week they lose a heartbreaker. Now they're on the other side of the coin. They got a chance to take a lead here late in the 4th.
Big plays back, but with a different cast of characters. Goedert and Barkley doing the job. But now can they finish the job? 1st and goal with 1:05.
I wouldn't be surprised if you keep it on the ground here. Just make the Saints use their last timeout.
They do. It's Barkley. Surge from the offensive line. And a touchdown from Barkley.
Yeah, smart play call. Obviously, you're going to score. That's clear. But if he gets tackled, you force New Orleans to take their timeout. So now, when they do get the ball back, they can't stop it. But, of course, great job up front. Saquon, now they're going to go for 2. They want to try to make this thing a 3-point game so a field goal doesn't beat them in regulation.
Barkley's second touchdown of the day. And the Eagles back in front. Back and forth we go in the last minutes here at the Superdome.
Remember how important the Saints failed at their 2-point play.
Looking for the 3-point lead. Right downhill again, and Barkley slices through. Yeah, the Eagles get that dose of comfort, leading by 3.
I didn't have to get too fancy on that. Just, all right, they've had no answer for Saquon here in the second half. Shotgun, put Goedert in motion, and just run right at him. Saquon Barkley, him and Goedert have really taken over this game for this Philly offense, dealing with some injuries, and it was Goedert that got him started with the big play on the shallow cross. Let's take a look at it here. Watch Will Harris, number 5. He has Goedert man-to-man. But watch the interference here underneath. And watch, they run into each other right here. Lattimore and the safety trying to cut the shallow. They just run into each other, and Goedert's off to the races.
And it is a career-high 10 catches, 170 yards for Goedert. And it's redemption for Barkley. Less than a week after his drop on 3rd down, he said after the game, "I catch that, we win." Well, if he's not here today, they don't have a chance.
Absolutely.
High kick into the end zone. And a knee taken by Shaheed. So now it's back on. Field goal for the tie. Touchdown likely for the win from the 30. Carr goes underneath. It's Mason Tipton. And he will get out of bounds at the 40, at the 35.
All right, so let's do it. The Saints have 1 timeout. Think back to a couple possessions ago. Carr had to take a timeout. They struggled getting a play in, so they've had to waste 2 early timeouts in the second half. Only more them with
and
1.
They against Dak.
Keep that in their pocket as long as they can. So if they get tackled in bounds, get up on the line. Don't use that timeout until you have to, preferably before a field goal try.
Still no Darius Slay at corner. Carr lofting into traffic and picked off. Reed Blankenship. The Eagles defense gets the stand they couldn't 1 week ago.
Yeah, you can see Carr, he's under pressure. He just can't throw this ball. He's trying to fit this thing into Shaheed down the middle. I don't think Shaheed thinks that ball's coming to him at all. And let's take a look here. Hands are under it. Ball doesn't move. I think that's a clean pick. And 2nd and 5. You don't have to get it all in one play.
And from an undrafted player to their leading tackler last year to the game-sealing interception right here. And Carr limps over there to the sideline. It's fitting, isn't it, that it's the defense with the exclamation 1 week after all the talk was about how the defense couldn't stop anybody, couldn't get the stop down the stretch. They've been the biggest story throughout this game, and it looks like they've put the finishing touches on what will be a massive bounce-back road win.
Is under review. The rolling on the field was an interception.
To make sure that he did get this one.
Yeah, those first couple looks that we got, and it's important to say, okay, everyone always looks at it and says, oh, the ball hit the ground. If it's being secured, it can hit the ground as long as it's not deemed to have been to move and at any point lose control over it. So let's take a look at it right here. So there, his right hand is under it. We kind of lose it behind his back. Let's see what Dean thinks. Dean, what do you think there? It might hit the ground, but does he ever lose control of the ball?
That's the key. I don't see any loss of control. It can touch the ground provided he maintains control. To me, it looks like he's got firm control. At best, to me, this is a stance.
Yeah, it's a good point by Dean. Remember, it was ruled an interception on the field, so barring an angle that shows something completely different from what we've seen, you have to imagine they just, at the very least, stick with the call.
Yeah, I think there's no way this gets flipped.
After reviewing the play, the ruling of an interception stands. First down.
And the interception does stand. And guess who is bringing the pressure? Brandon Graham once again making an impact.
Yeah, Brandon Graham, Jalen Carter, this defensive front, they've come under some fire. They've got a lot of investment along that defensive line in Philadelphia. And the last couple weeks, they felt like they weren't playing up to standard. Vic Fangio was very honest, and tell you what, they've answered the bell here, and they've clearly been the biggest difference in this game, run and pass. The Philly D-line has dominated this ballgame.
Speaking of under fire, how about Nick Sirianni's week? You know, not just the week, but really the last, 10 games or so. They were 10-1 last year. Fade down the stretch. They come into this game having lost 7 of 9. A lot of talk about the way he handled the end of the game last week. And you're in all these tight games, you're going to find yourselves with decisions on your plate like he's had to make throughout this game. Bottom line, though, looks like his team is going to get out of this game with a win. Some extracurricular after the play there. Sirianni over there to make sure nothing.
It's Jalen Carter. He's chirping back and forth with Tyrann Mathieu and Lattimore and all those guys. And Big Dom is trying to keep him. Now Sirianni's running over to him. That's Clint Hurt. He's the defensive line coach. Big Dom, Sirianni.
He played a good game. Let's go ahead and just leave it there.
Yeah.
Some old SEC love. Georgia boy to an old Tiger. For the Eagles, you're going to go from what I think is an underrated win week 1 down in Brazil over the Packers to that tough loss week 2 there. That close to being a 3-0 team. And Jalen Hurts, the early interception, didn't throw any touchdowns today, but he winds up over 300 yards passing on a day where he's down his top 2 receivers.
Yeah, moving the ball was not a problem for Philly. I mean, both through the air. Of course, Saquon had the big run. It really wasn't the issue. The issue was turning the ball over and the failed 4th down tries. I mean, that's really what even created this game to be even close, and defense just continued to get stop after stop after